from Wilshire office, Simon Woo. Please, Simon, can you take over, please?
Thank you, Uncle Hassan. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, everything clear and loud.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Simon once again, and yeah, I know we're very focused on a GX program. I know we're all looking to duplicate. We're all going to build big, but I know today I get a little special time to talk a little bit more about the sales side, especially on the US. So we're going to do a little IUL presentation, and it has been a major focus of mine ever since I did go full time. And I know I really focus. I said this on Young Gun, but I really focus on tripling all of my activities. So tripling the calls, tripling the appointments, and also recruits and also sales as well. And I just checked my numbers, and as of the last 2 months, August and September, we submitted, just personally, I submitted 52 cases in the last 60 days, which basically comes out to every 3 days, maybe about 2.5 sales. So I wanted to hit that one per day, which would be good. I'm going to keep focusing on that, but I know we really have been ramping up our sales numbers, and with my dad's help too. And that has built a lot of confidence in me. And the funny thing I realize is when you sell more cases and you do more business, you believe in yourself more, you believe in your product more, and then you ergo sell even more. That's the funny thing I realized. And as I started to do more, it really, really showed. And even my percentage of closing became even better. So I'm going to kind of show you guys how I really run through that now. And Ventura is here, so he's going to be my guinea pig as I kind of do the presentation for him. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Okay.
I'm recording this too.
Now, the one thing I will say is just please tell your own story. This is for recruiting or sales, but nothing beats your own story. And whenever, whenever my prospects, also my clients, when they talk to me, they really can tell that I have been saved by this business and I have been saved by these products because it's true. And I tell them my own personal story, and that really shows that this is personal experience. I wouldn't sell you anything that I wouldn't do myself. And we're really putting our money where our mouth is. Okay. So everything is because I did it first. That's why I show you today. Okay. But when I walk into a sales presentation, especially, I need to answer 3 main questions in prospect's mind. Okay. Number 1 is very, very simple. As a prospect, let's say Ventura, do you even want to save money?
Yes.
No, you don't have to answer. I'm just saying, right? Do you even want to save money? We have to agree on that for me to go on to the next step. Because honestly, if you don't want to save, we don't have to be here right now. I'll be honest, right? Number 2 is how much do you want to save? And number 3 is where should you save the money? Okay. And I drew this little graph, which is question 1 and question 2, I think is a very, very big gap. That is where I spend the most amount of time. That is where I present the most amount of value. Okay. Because there's no point in me even talking the words IUL if you don't even want to save money. Okay. It's just complete common sense. There's no reason why I should bring up the product if you don't even care about saving money. Right. So most of my time, and you'll see how I do this during my presentation, everything will revolve around number 1, do you want to save? If it's yes, then I move to number 2, which is how much do you want to save? And then number 3, we can talk about where. Okay. So I like to always start, even on the recruiting side as well, but I always like to start doing some concepts first. But especially even when I do blue flip chart, it's not just about teaching the concept, but it's about, hey, Ventura, why do you need to learn this today? And how will learning this concept help you right now? Okay. So it's on the blue flip chart, so I don't have to go too in depth. But when we talk about rule of 72, what does it mean? It means power of compounding interest, letting money grow over time. Okay. So when I ask Ventura, hey, Ventura, let's say you have $10,000. Okay. You put the money somewhere and you get 4%. How long will it take? It'll take 18 years for money to double. Okay. So every 18 years, it doubles. Very simple. If you go somewhere else, you get 8% interest every year. It doubles every 9 years. So it doubles a little bit quicker. If you get 12%, only takes 6 years to double your money, doubles even quicker. Okay. And then I say, hey, Ventura, here's why this matters to you. I'd say that literally. Here, Ventura, here's why this matters to you. Ventura, where is your cash sitting right now? Where's most of your money sitting right now?
A bank account.
Okay, great. What bank is it?
Bank of America.
Okay, so you have a BOA. Okay. Checking or savings?
Checking.
Checking account. Okay, so BOA checking account. Now tell me, brother, what is the interest on that BOA checking account?
0.001%.
Okay, is it 0.00 or 0.01?
0.001.
I'll just do 0.01. I don't remember, right? So let's just say it's 0.01, right? And I'll say, hey, Ventura, do you know that we can do rule of 72 right now? And I do it. What's Ventura? Hey, what's 72 divided by 0.01? He has no idea, so I'm going to even do it for him in the calculator. Ventura, you are a 20-year-old kid with $10,000 right now. Okay? How long it takes you to double to $20,000, it'll take you 7,200 years in the current way and form that you do it right now. And then I ask the serious question, hey, Ventura, you tell me, is that a good deal or not?
Absolutely not.
And I ask question number 2, which is, Ventura, then why do you do it?
I don't know.
That's the answer, right?
My mom told me.
Yeah, my mom has that account. My dad has that account. My best friend has that account, right? The funny thing is, even if he said, I have a savings account, right? 1% savings account is average main bank. 72 divided by 1, it'll take you 72 years. So Ventura, even if it was 72 years, you'll still be 92 years old when your money doubles. Do you want that? No, you don't, right? So now me and him are coming to the agreement that, hey, Ventura, something has to change. Something has to change. Okay, good. And I know I do love doing this slide, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do all of it, right? But this really is showing true power of long-term thinking and investing your money over time. Hey, Ventura, I want to show everybody how to be a millionaire by age 65. Okay. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot to put on my timer. So I'm going to show everybody how to be a millionaire by age 65. Ventura. Hey, Ventura, can you save $200 right now?
Yes.
You better. It's only about $6 a day. Okay. And let's get it out of the stupid bank account and let's put it to work for us. Okay. Now, I don't know where the market's going to go. Be clear, I can't guarantee anything, but average S&P 500 is anywhere between maybe 8 to 11 to 12%, depending on how far you look back. I like 10%. It's pretty doable. Okay. So let's say number 1, Ventura, you're exactly my age. Okay. You're 26. All I would say is, hey, brother, can you save $200 a month, $2,400 a year? All you got to do is just consistently do that until you are 65 years old. When you are 65, how much did you put in? $96,000. 10% return compound interest. What will that become? That's $1 million. That's pretty good if you ask me. All right. Here's number 2. Number 2, maybe someone taught you a little bit earlier. Maybe mom and dad knows about this. Maybe they helped you. But let's say you start at 18, which is actually pretty close to what Ventura did. So Ventura, he's 18 years old, and I'm going to say, hey, brother, why don't you actually start saving right now? You work at the auto body detailer. You're making a little bit of money. Why don't you save it right now? But in example 1, how long did I save? I saved 40 years. How long do you save in example 2? Just next 8 years. And stop. Stop. Just live your life. Grow up. When you turn 65, Ventura, how much did you put in? 19,200. 10% return, what will that become? It becomes $1.2 million. And then I'll stop and I'll say, Ventura, right off the bat, doesn't this look kind of weird? Ventura, why is it that you put in 70,000 less than me, but why in the world do you get 200K more than me? Why? What is the reason?
Answer. That's how money works.
Okay.
Compound interest.
Okay. So
the strongest, when you have time, that's the strongest asset I think you have.
Correct, right? So the answer is you started earlier. That's the answer, right? So if you guys see what I'm telling client to feed me the answer, right? Which is, if you want more, start earlier. That's the answer, all this, okay? Now, Ventura, will really blow your mind, okay? Let's just say we go back in time to the day you were born, and let's say I wasn't born then, or I was 5 years old, but let's say my dad talked to your parents the day you were born, and he said, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Weeks, can you just save $200 a month for your son as soon as you're born? How long do you do that for? Just 2 years, and then stop. First 2 years of your life, and then you grow up. When you turn 65, Ventura, how much did mom and dad save? Not even 5,000. Not even. What will that become? It becomes $2 million. Crazy, isn't it? And here's number 4. Now, this is what we really, really recommend, which is mom and dad have to understand the example. And they say, let's say mom and dad saves for you as soon as you're born, but they do it consistently. And they just keep the $200. Just keep it up. And let's say right around here, let's say tonight, because Ventura is exactly 20 years old. Mom and dad, they sit you down, they say, hey, son, I did this for you. You better keep it up. So you say, okay, great, I'll keep it up. And by the way, you can tell that I hide the final answer. But Ventura, let's say you keep it up. Total saved by you and your family is $156,000, okay? Ventura, throw me a guess. What do you think final balance will be? I know you know the answer, but I'll tell you the answer I got yesterday, which was, Simon, oh, this is 2 million. This must be $3 million. That was the guess. And I said, oh my God, that's so close. True answer is 12 million. It's $12 million. And then, you know, mind blown, right? And then again, I tie it back to my own personal story. Hey, Ventura, this slide is actually what changed my life. This is what my father did for me. I was 21. My dad opened this account. He started it. I keep it going. And then he said, hey, son, I don't care what you do, but as long as you keep this going, you will be a double-digit millionaire at some point in your life. I don't know when, but at some point. Okay. But the real problem is that I was lucky my father knew this concept. But why didn't anyone talk to my grandma, his mom, right? Why didn't anyone talk to my grandma so that she could do that for my dad? Why didn't anyone talk to your mom to do this for you? Or anyone talk to your grandma to do this for your mom, right? And I asked him that question, which is, how could your life have changed if your mom had 12 million in her investment account? That's life-changing money, right? And it's not because we're so smart or we know anything better than it. No, it's nothing like that. No one told us that this is even possible. That's it, right? So yes, and now again, now I'm answering number 1, which is Ventura. Best day to start would have been the day you were born. Very fair, right? The day you were born. Ventura, what is the next best day to start? It's today, brother. It's today. Okay? And then I make him agree with me. Because I'll be honest, if he doesn't agree with me, I might as well end the presentation here, if I'm being honest. But if I see him nodding and he says, "Oh yeah, you know what, brother? I'll be honest. When I do this slide, as the agent, I'm trying to piss him off a little bit. I want him to think, "Oh man, what could have been?" Right? But it's okay, Ventura. I understand this one is not possible. That one's not your fault. But can you still get this? And can you still get this? Yes, you can. And then I know once he's in agreement, I know we've got him. Okay. So then in that case, I just spent the last 10 minutes on question number 1. So question number 2 is, once I know that we're in agreement, how much do I want to save? So now I get to actually go through the presentation itself and really kind of help him out. Hey, Ventura, have you ever heard of the 50-30-20 budgeting rule?
No.
Okay. Very, very simple. It just means you make a certain amount of money every single month. Maximum 50% should be spent on your needs, your housing, your food, right? Everything you need. Anything that you want to do, maximum should be 30%. Your travel, your fun times, going to baseball games, whatever. And then minimum 20% should be used for your long-term savings and investments. So I'll ask him I'm very upfront about it. Hey, Ventura, how much do you make right now? Right? Let's just say he says, oh, okay, I make about 10K a month for whatever reason, right? And then I'll do the math for him. Hey, Ventura, if you make 10K, minimum I recommend is about 5K for your needs. I'm sorry, maximum. Maximum 5K, maximum 3K for your wants, and minimum 2K should be for building an emergency fund, building up your savings, or investing and retiring for the long term. And then I'll ask my second direct question, which is, Ventura, let's say you do make that 10,000, right? Are you actually saving $2,000 per month right now? Okay. No, that's fine. At least then we got some work to do. Okay, good. Now, number 1 was all about setting the expectation. which is if we are here, we are trying to do better, we have to set some kind of guideline, some kind of rule, right? Number two is about setting the goal, okay? And I'm gonna give a shout out to Daniel Fehr-Krahn here because I really love what he said. This is not me versus client, right? When we sit down with people as a financial educator, I am not closing the deal. I am mediating, I'm facilitating that discussion between the current version of you and the future version of you. So thank you, Daniel. I loved when you said that, right? So what I'm doing in this example, what I'm actually doing with the foundation is I need to set your goal, man. People don't know where they're going. And if you don't know where you're going, I can't help you there, right? So I'll explain how foundation works. We got to build up each level. And I'll say, hey, Ventura, what's your current situation, right? Let's just say I have nothing. I have, I don't know, $2,000 and I have $5,000, something like that, right? And then I'll say, hey, Ventura, if you make 10,000 a month, so let's just call it 100 just to be even, just to be easy. So if you make $100,000, Ventura, I'm going to set your goal for you right now. So at least you know where you're going. We recommend at least minimum 10x of your income for protection for your family, for your future kids. That's about $1 million minimum. Debt management. We have several workshops. I want you to come and see the workshops. But as of right now, it looks like you don't have any debt. So pretty good. Just keep that up. Emergency fund. I recommend minimum 6 to 12 months of your income. So let's call this about 50 to 100K. You can call it 3 to 6. I just like saying 6 to 12. For investment, I recommend minimum 20x of your income. So let's call it about 2 million. Okay. So in each level, you got $1 million, 0, 6 to 12 months, and 2 million. And then I'll ask him another direct question. Hey, Ventura, of these four, which ones do you think we should work on?
All of them. All of them.
All of them? Okay. Okay. All of them. Now, for this example, right? This one actually looks pretty good. Just don't do anything stupid. That's my answer, right? But at least this, and this. And we have come into the agreement that, hey, we should work on those three together. Okay. Good. Now, number 3 is very, very simple. Before I can really get down to the number, we do have to run PFS. So number 3 is about confirming the expectation. Number 1 was setting the expectation, which was, hey, Ventura, if you make 10 grand, you should save minimum 2 grand. That's the expectation. Number 3 is confirm that expectation. What's your assets? What's your goals? What's your income? What's your liabilities? What's your expenses? And I hope at the end of the day, at the end of this page, you do get to this number. But 9 times out of 10, I will not get to that number. I'm probably going to get something a lot lower or a little bit lower. Okay. Now, let's just say, for sake of argument purposes, this is $1,500. I'm sorry, yeah, 1,500 at the end of the month. He has a 1,500 cash flow, so it's pretty close. It's not too bad. But at the end of the month, he stows away 1,500 in his bank account, and it just kind of sits there or something like that, right? And I'll show him everything. I'll say, hey, Ventura, you're actually doing pretty good. You are getting close to the budgeting guideline that I like. So I would say just try to work a little harder, just try to cut down on some of the dumb stuff that we do, right? As kids, that's what we do. But the main thing is that even for me, again, I'll tell my personal story. Hey, Ventura, if it's in my account, I'm going to use it, right? So before you spend it on something stupid, let's actually set a good plan for you, and let's set a good discipline for you for that long-term growth, long-term savings, okay? And then I will ask the final question of number 2, which is, Ventura, out of this 1,500, how much can you actually commit to yourself that you will save and invest for your future?
1,000.
1,000. That is your answer. And now I will come up with the product. You know what I'm saying? But now I showed the value. Ventura, this is what you do when you save. And now we got to how much can you actually, again, not do for me, but how much can you do for yourself, for your long-term benefit, and to make the future version of you very, very happy. And it's $1,000. Great. So I know I'm going to get rid of this picture. We don't need this twice. So let's say out of the $1,000, I know this is definitely going to change case by case basis, right? But I do know he has to work on emergency fund, and I do know he has to work on investment and protection. So you can do whatever split you want. You can do 500, 500, right? I'll ask Ventura, what about if we put 400 into high yield savings? Why don't we put 600 into your long-term investment and retirement, stuff like that, right? So I'll take a couple minutes and talk about that. And when I'm actually ready to talk about product, this is, by the way, the shortest part of my presentation. And I know you guys have maybe seen it before, but this is the napkin presentation, okay? Ventura, this is what I recommend for you. And actually, this is what I have as well. And I want to tie back to I have this as well. Ventura, let's just say you got $1,000. Where would you put it right now? You kind of did answer the question. You said, I'll put it in my bank. Perfectly fine. People like the bank because it is relatively safe. It's very easy. And it's also guaranteed. It's not going to go up a lot. It's not going to go up a lot, but at least it will never go down. Now, I'll probably take that same 1,000 and I'll invest it somewhere because I want some growth. I want some return. But a little risky because what goes up can come down. Now, number 3 is, question Dad had was, where do wealthy people put their money? If I want to be rich and wealthy, I got to start doing what rich and wealthy people do. So, Ventura, where do wealthy people love putting their money? They love investing inside of insurance companies. Why? Because of tax benefits. So here's what I recommend for you, Ventura. Let's open up a plan for you that is safe, just like a bank, because it never goes down. Except it's still tied to the stock market, so it has the potential to go up every single year. And everything you build into it is tax-free, and you can take out anytime. Does that sound cool?
Yes.
Good. Okay. I love it, right? And I'll do the 4 boxes, and I'll kind of explain to him how the product actually works. So I've been doing a lot more Pack Life recently, so I'm going to focus on that. Also, I know we talk about FFIUL a lot, so I think Pack Life is good to show in this example. Now, Ventura, there's 4 things that money can really do for you. I want my money to grow. I want it to be safe. I would love tax advantages. I would love protection, right? Let's just do something like an investment account, just for example, right? Can investments grow? Absolutely. Is it safe? Absolutely not. Do you get any tax advantages? Absolutely not. Do you get any protection? Absolutely not. Let's take, how about, I don't know, savings account, bank account. Does it grow? I'll give this like a so-so. Does it grow? Sure, a little bit. Is it safe? It is safe, but no tax advantages, no protection, right? So Ventura, here's what I recommend for you. There's a very good company called Pacific Life, and they have a product called an IUL. You put your money into it every single month, and it'll grow for you, right? But a lot of these companies do have what's called a growth cap, but actually Pacific Life is an uncapped strategy. Average 20-year return in the stock market was 9.3%. Ventura, even if you wanted to invest into the regular S&P 500 index, average growth is about 8%. So even on the growth side, this still did better. Now, Ventura, scary thing is we may hit a recession, we may not. We may have market crash, we may not. But in case of those market crashes, wouldn't it be cool if you could be protected from the downside, right? So Pacific Life offers what's called a guaranteed 0% floor. Market does -20, -30, -50, you get 0. Pretty good, right? Now, we can actually, as you build up money into that account, anything happens to you, you get the money tax-free, but also you can actually take the money out. You can tax-free withdrawal up to a certain point, or after that, you can even take a loan for tax-free as well. I'm sure you're a car guy. When you open up a car loan, do you pay any tax?
Of course.
No.
A car loan. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you don't pay any tax, right? On a car loan or a home loan, right? Why? Because it's technically labeled as debt. We run the same thing that we do in this plan, and it is one of the best tax advantages you'll ever see in the financial markets. Again, I'm a hedge fund guy. All of my clients that I paid out, they paid 20% capital gains tax. Anyone in a 401k, income tax. IRA, income tax. So you're going to have to pay something, but in here, you don't. Now, and then I tie it back, which is Ventura. Why is it that this company can offer you good growth, safety, and also tax advantages? Because this product is not considered a security. It's actually considered as life insurance. So the rules are a little bit different, and the tax codes are a little bit different. You're not buying a a share of Apple. You're not buying a share of Microsoft. This is life insurance, and you do not have to abide by the same rules. Man, I wish your 401k could offer you a floor. I wish I would take that in a heartbeat, but securities can't do that. Any security, you as the client or as the stockholder, shareholder, have to take all the risk. So I'm trying to explain how these tax codes are all in his favor, right? So here's the company, again, Pacific Life. And just like I said, there is a 0% floor and the growth is uncapped. And I'll show him, this is the actual documentation from Pacific Life. Average, it's 19 years, but I say 20 year. 20-year growth average is 9.3%. I would pay to get those returns coming from a mutual fund guy. My mutual fund's average is 5 to 6, if I'm being dead clear, dead honest. And this product did 9.3. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee it, but this actually happened. This actually happened, okay? Now, I'm going to stop here for a sec. This is a little break. There is one other feature of this product that I do love. I don't recommend that if you do this product that you share with everybody, okay? This is a little bit riskier, but for someone like me, and I understand it, I will show this part of the product to them, okay? Ventura, since you are 20, and even if the market does go down, you have a lot of time for the market to come back. Are you comfortable with taking a little bit of risk?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to actually show you exactly what I have with this plan, okay? Now, the good thing about Pac Life, in my opinion, is they make it look like a mutual fund without it actually being a mutual fund. So not only do you get that 0% floor uncapped, but they also offer what's called a performance design, or very simply, it's just a multiplier. So for a fee, you can get an optional multiplier. So if you see here, this classic one is no multiplier. That's just normal returns. And here's what the market did after 20 years. Very simple, right? Now, if you see the years like this, 2008, it was down about 40%. Hey, you got zero. That's not bad, right? But you do have to pay the fee. It's usually between 2 to 5% a year. You did lose a little bit on that year, okay? Even just like 2020 or 2022, sorry. This was a minus 20% year. It was a minus 5%. So you can technically lose, but maximum minus 5%, okay? Now, Ventura, what about 2016? Market did 26. How much did you get? 46 in 1 year. How about in 2012? 19%, you got 31. How about in 2014? 13%, you got 20. So all in all things considered, with the multiplier, and it's, by the way, net of fees. So this is after fees. This product did 11.2%. Again, this is why I love this product, and I have this exact feature, and I do have this exact multiplier on this product of mine. So Ventura, if you are like me, you're a young guy, you want to maximize your growth, I think we should get this, and let's turn the multiplier on. Later in life, when you don't want it, just turn it off. That's perfectly fine, right? Again, like I said, it is this part, I think you guys can tell it's a little bit complicated, so I don't actually show this to everybody. But for maybe my younger clients that really want that growth, I will show this to them. Because I'll be honest, I can't guarantee that growth, but man, 11%, you're not going to see that anywhere else. I'll be the first one to say, you're not. Try me, brother. I will argue. I will show you that this does not exist anywhere else. Okay? And then I'll bring it back, right? When I'm actually ready to really close it out. Hey, Ventura, I know I threw a lot at you. Do you have any questions for me?
Not really.
Okay, give me a question.
Okay,
give me a question. What? Give me what does someone
I don't
ask?
know. How safe is it?
When you say safe, say
As in
say
the
what?
company. I've never heard of Pacific Life before.
Oh, okay, that's a really good point, right? You could say, oh, I trust Bank of America, I trust Chase Bank, right? I've never heard of Pac Life. Why should I trust these guys? Which is a very good question. Okay. Now, just like how banks have FDIC insurance, life insurance companies have the same requirement. It's called the liquidity requirement, which means for every dollar if I'm the company, every dollar I take from you, I have to have a certain amount of reserve available in case my company goes down. Okay. Now, here's the funny thing, Pacific Life. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Petra. Of those three companies, Pacific Life, Chase Bank, let's say Pacific Life and Chase Bank, okay? Which one do you think is older? Which one do you think has more foundation? Which one do you think is more benchmark of America?
Chase.
Chase, right? Pacific Life was opened in 1862, 1863. It is older than Chase Bank. I would trust that company that's standing longer even more, right? And just like I said, you have FDIC insurance, you also have an insurance for life insurance, plus a liquidity requirement. Your money's very safe. And in case company ever goes down, they have every right. They can pay you out. That's a great question. I love that question. Good. Anything else that's related to this?
When can I take my money out?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, Pacific Life is very known for their liquidity, very, very quick liquidity. I don't recommend you take it out in 1 year, but I would say by year 3 and 4, you could actually take out almost up to 80 to 90% of your money. This is not a savings account. Don't touch it right away. That's why out of the 1,000, we're going to put 400 into your emergency fund. Take from this. Please, and actually, so now I get to set the discipline again. Please save this for your future. You agree with me on that, right? Take from this first. I don't mind. That's why we build that up at the same time, right? So just a little tip, right? I do both at the same time because, again, if I'm taking all your money for the IUL, you're going to cancel it at some point. You're going to withdraw from it at some point. So we got to build this up at the same time. Okay, good. Now let's pretend you don't have any questions. And this is something I learned from my dad perfectly. And it's so funny how it works so well, right? And sure, you got any questions for me?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Great. Right. Okay. Great. So what I'm going to do is I need to submit the application because I don't have the final say.
Okay.
Company has every right to say no to you because it's technically life insurance. Okay. So nothing's final today, but let's put in the app because I got to see what company says and let's see what they say so that you have all of the information to make your final decision. Sound fair? Right? Good. I need your driver's license. I need your social security. I need your what? Again, now I did skip one part. Please show them the illustration. I did skip that part, right? But for the sake of time, I don't need to do that. But when you're actually ready to go, I don't ask them, hey, do you like it? What do you want to do? How do you feel? Does this sound? I don't ask, no. Because I know this is good for you. From the bottom of my heart, I know this is good for you. Send in the application. Let's see what the company says. And let's make sure you have all the information before you blindly say no to me. Fair enough? That's it. Great. Cool. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I'll stop here. Anybody have any questions or anything before I throw it back to Uncle Sam?
Good.